Good morning. It is Tuesday, the 17th day of Teves. Today we are continuing and completing chapter 10 in the Tanya, which is the holy chapter, the chapter that talks about the tzaddikim, the righteous people in a very, very high level. And we explained that there is different levels of tzaddikim. There's the complete tzaddik and the incomplete tzaddik. And we explained the differences. The incomplete tzaddik is completely changed and eliminated the evil inclination in him. However, he did not completely transform him, that the animal soul also should want to do God's will. The complete tzaddik is in a whole different level. A complete tzaddik is completely transformed, that even the love that he has to Hashem overflowed. Even the animal soul also has the desire to connect to Hashem. Not only that, he wants to do everything only for what Hashem wants. What do I mean? There's the story with the Alter Rebbe. The Alter Rebbe from time to time would go into a deep meditation, and they would hear the Alter Rebbe saying, Rabbeinu Shalom said, Hashem, I don't want your Gan Eden. I don't want your Olam Abba, the future world to come. All I want is you. It's a very profound saying. The Alter Rebbe says, all I want is you. A real complete tzaddik, all he wants is what Hashem wants. And Alter Rebbe is going to explain this in today's lessons. And he calls this the complete tzaddik. They refer to as Bnei Aliyah, as Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says. Bnei Aliyah, I saw Bnei Aliyah, people of ascent. That a complete tzaddik is called the people of ascent. What does that mean? Alter Rebbe, yesterday we learned the one explanation that Bnei Aliyah, people of ascent, means that those are the people, the tzaddikim, who ascend, they bring up. Aliyah means coming up, bringing up. They bring up the complete darkness, they turn it into light. They turn the bitterness into sweetness. They change this physical material world and they elevate it to Hashem. That's why they're called Bnei Aliyah. And he's going to explain another reason why they're called Bnei Aliyah. Because they are people of Aliyah, people of above, that what they are concerned about is not themselves. All they're concerned about is above. What's above? What does it mean? Even their own spiritual benefit is also not what they're concerned about. They want to do God's will, not because it is good for them to be close to Hashem. It is because this is God's will. They're completely nullified to Hashem. And this is God's will. They don't want, like the Alter Rebbe says, not the Olam Abba, not the Gan Eden. All they want is Hashem. So let's look inside and see the Alter Rebbe's words. Says the Alter Rebbe, "V'oid nikroim b'nei Aliyah." Another reason for their designation as b'nei Aliyah, the people of ascent, people of above. He says, "Mipnei shegam aveidosam b'bchinas v'asei toiv b'kiyum ha'torah u'mitzveiseho u'letzirich gavoya u'mayla mayla adruma maylis." This is because even their divine service in the area of doing good, in the fulfillment of Torah and its mitzvahs, is for the sake of above. And their service is directed towards a most high level, toward the loftiest heights. Meaning yesterday we learned about the first reason why they're called Bnei Aliyah is because of the changing the evil and bringing it up. And now he says also the avodah, the work of asay tov, doing good, is also for the sake of Hashem. Their divine service is not intended merely to attach themselves to God by serving Him through Torah and mitzvahs, so to quench the thirst of their soul, which thirsts for God. Because indeed, that is the way one connects to Hashem, is when you study Torah. And as he brings, as it says in the pasuk, it says, "Kamoishe Kasuv," as it is written, "Hoi kol tzameh lechol hamayim." It is written, "Ho," exclaims the prophet, "all who are thirsty for godliness should go to the waters of Torah." Meaning, let them engage in Torah, which is likened to water. As is explained elsewhere, that the thirsty ones of this verse refers to those who are thirsty for godliness. Because sometimes you read this verse, and they're saying, oh, what does it mean, those who are thirsty? Maim, of course, is referred to as the Torah. So what does it mean? The thirsty go to the water. Thirsty for what? A simple understanding is when a person is thirsty for Torah, he should go to study Torah. But here in this case, what do you need? What's the big chidush? What's the big novelty over here? Of course, if somebody wants to study Torah, let him study Torah and it will quench his thirst. So the Alter Rebbe explains this verse saying that the thirsty is not thirsty for Torah. It is a person who is thirsty for God. He wants to connect to Hashem, and this is what the prophet is telling him. You want to connect to Hashem? Study Torah. Go to the water. The water is the Torah. So we do see indeed that this is one of the way to connect to Hashem. The people, the tzaddikim, they have this thirst for Hashem, and the way to do it is through the Torah. However, when we are talking about the complete tzaddik, he's not doing it. He's not doing what he's doing just to quench his thirst. He's doing what he's doing because he's totally devoted to Hashem. All he's concerned is Hashem. And that's what Alter Rebbe continues. Rather, their service of God is, as the Tikkunei Zohar explains, Ezeu chasid hamischased im koinoi. That which our sages have said, who is a pious one, the chassid? He who is benevolent, mischased means benevolent, toward his creator. Kono, it means creator. Says the Tikkunei Zohar explains this word kono in a different way. Kono means creator, and koinoi also means imkan delay, with his nest. When you're benevolent, you're kind with your nest. What is your nest? Hashem, his source, Hashem. So when you're benevolent to Hashem, so to speak, then you are a chassid. The question is, what does it mean to be benevolent to Hashem? Says the Alter Rebbe, Leyachado kucha brichu ushchinte betachtoinim. Benevolent to Hashem is to uniting the Holy One, blessed be He, with His Shechina, the divine presence that dwells here, so that the light of this union reach and be felt even in the lowest worlds. As is also explained in Raya Mehimne, and Parshas Tetzeh, this is part of the Zohar. Kibro deishtadel bosar avui veimei derochim lon yate megarmei v'nafshei v'ruchei v'nishmasei choro. He says, in the manner of a son who exerts himself for his father and mother, whom he loves more than himself. more than in his own nefesh, ruach, and neshama, the different levels of the soul. Umosar garmei lemisa alayu lemifa kloin chulu commission is bad mokemacha, and who sacrifices his life for their sake to redeem them, should they be held in captivity, and as is also explained elsewhere. So this is what the Alter Rebbe is saying, that we're talking about such a complete tzaddik, is the one who is ready to give everything up because he loves his Father so much, his Father in heaven. So he's not concerned about his own benefit, not even his spiritual benefit. He's concerned about what does Hashem want. Just like a son who loves his parents so much that he will be ready to risk his own life to save his parents' life. Continues the Alter Rebbe. Now the Alter Rebbe says that these two explanations of what is Bnei Aliyah, they are really connected and they complement each other. So to explain this, what does it mean that these two explanations, they are connected, they complement each other? One explanation of Bnei Aliyah is that they elevate the bottom, refining the bottom and bringing it up, changing the materialistic world to serve Hashem, to be elevated to Hashem. And the second interpretation of Bnei Aliyah is that they're concerned with what is above. They're concerned with Hashem. They're concerned with what Hashem wants to bring down His Shechina, down to shine right here in this world. So these two things are connected. Why? Now the Rebbe is going to explain that there is a concept in Kabbalah of the feminine water arouses and brings a union with the masculine water. What does it mean? You know, when God created the world in the beginning, everything was created and it was for free. Everything was done. Hashem just gave. Teva, Tev, Lehetiv, the nature of God is to do kindness and wants it to bring down. But then once the world was created, Hashem put this in the system that everything that is drawn down, it comes from, it is being triggered from below. That when you do a mitzvah and you elevate from what is called the feminine waters, the receiver, the recipient, elevates itself and purifies itself and goes up to a higher level, then you bring down, it triggers a union with the masculine waters, with Hashem, with the light that comes from above. And this union creates more children to bring down to this world. This is how the Alter Rebbe explains that these two interpretations of Bnei Aliyah, what does it mean? Bnei Aliyah, that they elevate the waters, they elevate the bottom, the lower part of this world to become connected to Hashem. And in the other interpretation of Bnei Aliyah, which is they are concerned with what is above, meaning bringing down through the mitzvahs the light from above the masculine water. This is creates the union. And this is why these two interpretations complement each other. So let's see it how the Alter Rebbe says it inside. It says Alter Rebbe, Shneim oilim b'koneh echad. Both interpretations are complementary. For ki al yedei habirurim shemevarerim min noiga amalin mayim nukvim. For by refining the good found in Kalipas Noiga, as the men of ascent do by converting the animal soul, which is derived from Kalipas Noiga. Kalipas Noiga is the neutral shell that can be elevated. When converting it to good, one elevates feminine waters, which is called the man mayim nukvim, venasim yichudim elyonim leoirid mayim dechorim, affecting unions in the higher realms so as to cause masculine waters, the mad mayim dechorim, to descend to this world. Sheheim heim meimei achasodim shebekol mitzvah u'mitzvah meramach mitzvah sesem. These masculine waters are the waters of the kindness that flow into and are contained in each of the 248 positive mitzvahs, shekulom and prinas chasadim ma'im dechurim, which they are all in the nature of kindness or benevolence and masculine waters. The mitzvahs, the positive mitzvahs that we do, they contain the positive chesed waters from above. This term, masculine waters, as applied to mitzvahs, that means that the mitzvahs draw the God's holiness from above, meaning from the higher realms, downward, so that God's holiness be clothed in and revealed within the lowest realms, meaning our physical world is explained elsewhere. Thus, the two interpretations of the term men of ascent are complementary. So this is the end of the chapter 10, which we're discussing the tzaddik. And again, what does it have to do with us? And the Rebbe says that really everyone can get something from this. Because from time to time, we do want to do Hashem's will. We do want to do Hashem's will like a child wants to do his father's will. And we do want to cause God joy. So those moments, we are acting in the tzaddik-like act, because the mitzvahs each and every one of us can do. And by doing the mitzvahs, each mitzvah that we do, and especially if we do it from time to time with really a devotion, doing it for Hashem, not for ourselves, that little bit adds and accumulates all the mitzvahs from all of us together, and together we'll bring Mashiach. So we should have a wonderful, wonderful day. Mitzvah Hashem. Tomorrow morning we'll be back in person. All the best.